So Asia and I are working on our communication skills. Not that I feel like we have issues communicating with each other, but there are times when she wants to do something, but she's not sure if it's what I want to do. So she'll say, "Oh, I don't know, whatever you want to do," or she'll literally have nothing she wants to do, but we'll end up bickering back and forth for like 20 minutes to an hour trying to figure out what it is exactly we want to do. And I say Asia does that, but I'm guilty of it too. I won't have a preference, and she'll say, "So what do you want to do?" And I go, "I don't know, whatever." I need. I'm going to work on, if there's something that I want to do, just flat out say that's what I want to do. It's weird. It's weird because we're both trying to be so accommodating to each other. It's almost to the point that we're inconveniencing ourselves. So I'm gonna work on that. Today, as you can see, we're back in the car. I've missed having her mom's car. It's nice. It's a convenience, and I think for me, what it stems from is now that there's this level of trust between me and her mother that is just so cool breeze for me. It's like wow. Her mom and I weren't always on the same page, and in a lot of ways we still aren't. But in all the ways that matter, we are absolutely on the same page. Like, she trusts me with her car. I go run errands. It's like we went and picked up Mike early from school because we were out just picking up groceries. And in the time it would have taken to go get her mom and then come back to get him and then go, it would have been a waste of time. So it's like, hey, we'll go pick him up. Like, we're on the list now, so like I can go pick up her brother from school. Like, Lord forbid I was a kidnapper or something. I'm not. I mean, I'm not gonna kidnap Mike or anything. But it's nice to know, like, if needed, I could just go and pick up her brother from school, or if I just needed to borrow the car, I could call her up and say, "Hey, I really need to borrow the car." So I'm very comfortable with the level of trust that her mother and I have for each other now. Like, it's fantastic. It's just awesome to me. What else is happening? It's like the 12th of April now. We're almost halfway through the month of April, and what's funny is that it started with me just getting interview after interview with place after place, and then that last place was a scam, and then one wanted me to go too far out, and all of these things sound like excuses. They do, but they're just not panning out the way I want them to. Asia is taking her summer classes, and she's gonna get a little bit of money back from school, which is nice. And we'll probably use that for the rent for May, and it's gonna be late, so I'm gonna have to pay a fee for that. In a perfect world, I'd also pay for June, to give me that buffer. And if we were able to do that, then that would mean that I would have been out of work officially for a year. And that's weird to me. Like, I can't remember in my adult life being out of work this long. And I say my adult life, like, I'm not saying from 18 years old until, because I wasn't an adult until I got to California, really. And I guess that's not really true either, because I first got out here, it was 2009, early 2009, and I didn't have work. Oh, what did I end up doing? I did work that one telemarketing job for a day. It was like, no, I can't do this. But I came out here with like a fuck ton of money in my pocket from my last job. And I lived off of that. And then I got tax money and I lived off of that because I didn't have a lot of bills. All I had was I had a roommate. So I paid $500 a month for the room, and that was all utilities included. So, oh, I remember thinking that, wow, that was a lot of money. Now here I am spending $900 a month on just rent, and that doesn't cover lights or internet, electricity, phones, food. Like, it's amazing. But I can say that since I got married, that's fair to say, because once I was married, it was like I had to immediately do something. And we got married and we moved to that apartment. In fact, it's funny because whenever I go to YouTube on my computer, it takes me to that splash screen. I wanted to set this down. It sends me to that splash screen, and my welcome video pops up for this channel, and it's like, my wife and I got married February 14th, 2013. It was one of the happiest days of my life, and I hear that like every time I log in. But we got married in February. I didn't have a job until November. So you're talking March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. That was like a 9-month stretch. And then even that was like a part-time job at Target. And I stayed there until January. And I ended up quitting because I knew I was about to go to DSP. Her mom had pulled a string or called it a favor or whatever the case was, and I knew I was going to go to work at DSP. So for a month, we didn't have much. But then I went to DSP, and then everything was fine. I stayed at DSP clear until, let me see, we got married 2013. So I started there February of 2014, and I was there until June of 2015, I think. And all of that happened with Zach, and I ended up getting laid off. Had that whole stint where I was in jail for 12 hours. Wasn't fun. But I collected unemployment for a bit until the end of the year. And towards the end of the year, that's when Asia and Kari and Zach ended up working at Wingstop. And oh, we hated Wingstop. They hated that. So we lived off of that, along with my unemployment, to the first of the year. Then it was a matter of taxes came back. So tax money came back, and that got us till about May or June. And then from there, we all went to work at VF Outlet together, which was fun. That I hated getting up and going, but man, going to VF with my family was so much fun. And we ended up there, and after about 2 months, they let me and Kari go, which was a bummer. And they kept Asia though, and Asia was full time, so she was making okay money. But that's when I took our last couple of bucks, and I went and got that guard card, and I ended up getting the job for Regional Transit. And once that was really worked out, I think I was at that job about 2 weeks, where Asia was like, fuck this, I'm out. And she quit. So she just up and left. And that was August 2016. And then I stayed there until the end of June of 2017, which is when I got laid off. And July 1st was my first official day on unemployment for them. And I wrote that for the rest of the year. And we ran out of unemployment January of this year. But it was enough to pay the rent. And then I got my tax money back, and we did good. So I paid off the rent clear until now. So at the end of April, we'll have nothing. But Asia will have her money from school, so that'll ease the burden there a little bit. If I could pay for May and June, that would mean I'm going right back to work in July, and that would give me the time I need. That would give me a nice buffer. So it would also mean that I would have been out of work for a year. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see what happens there. But yeah, the interviews aren't coming as frequently as I would like, and working for regional transit really set a standard for me. It's like I could do security, but now I'm qualified to do more. I want to do mobile security. So we'll see how that works. Also, my guard card is set to expire, I think, in August of this year. So I'll have to get that renewed. But I'm sure if I just spend like $25 to renew it, there'll be a fee. I know I won't have to go and take the whole course again. I could just renew it online or something like that. So I'm not overly concerned, but I'm ready to get it going. I'm ready to get it started because the man of the house, I'm supposed to be taking care of things, so I want to get out there and take care of things. Asia's in Walmart now, shopping with Mike. I don't know what we're gonna do from here. Like her mom doesn't get off until like 6:30, so it's only like 4:30 now. So it's like after this, do we just sit around for 2 hours waiting for her mom? Like, should I run the groceries back to the house and then go get her? Like, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm just gonna lay back and kick it. They'll be out here whenever they get out here.